we'll have a discourse. Joining us now to take a look at the contributions of subunits to national security and how to enhance that same security through optimization of the security subunit is security strategist and fellow of the Nigerian Army Resource Center, Dr. Steve Okwori. Very warm welcome to Newsnight. Again, nice to have you around.
Thank you for having me.
The question straight away will be how important, are security subunits like the civilian JTF, the vigilantes in Nigeria's security architecture? Do they really have enough training to curtail or contribute significantly to the issues of insecurity in the country?
Yeah, before I respond to your question, let me just give a brief background. I am an advocate of local policing. What that means is that I've done a lot of research on security issues bordering on rural communities. You discover or agree with me that most of this crime happen in our rural or semi-rural communities where we don't have security presence. And of course, you also agree with me that our conventional security agents, the military, the police, and the civil defense, you can't find them in our very rural communities where these crime or violent attacks happen, right? So in that regard, we need some of these subunits, right, for them to be able to help in collaborating or having a synergy with our conventional security agents. Now, Mr. President is one president since 1999 that I discovered from my findings that he now understands the issues that we don't have security presence in our rural communities. And that was what gave rise to him approving the establishment of forest guards.
Forest guards,
yes.
Yeah. 616 of them were inaugurated or passed out.
Yes. Now, the point now is, having commended Mr. President for looking in that direction, we also need to commend this organization that is also a subunit, the Nigerian Forest Security Service, the Commander General of the NFSS, who is Dr. Wole Oshotimeni, and also the Deputy Commander General of Intelligence, Ambassador John Meche. These are the team that looked at it and came up with an initiative that there is need for them to have such local structure on ground, considering what the value criminals give to the forest, because you know that they use these forests as hideouts, as safe havens to carry out these acts of criminality. They kidnap citizens of this country, take them into this forest, and carry out other menace in this forest. So the National Security Advisor, I don't know if you are aware that this same Nigerian Forest Security Service has passed through the processes of being established by the federal government. The 9th Assembly approved, and also the 10th Assembly, right? It's before the Mr. President for assent.
For assent, yeah.
Now, Mr. President has given an approval. We expect that what the National Security Advisor is doing now by trying to see how to adopt the existing Nigerian Forest Security Service is a welcome idea, right? Because they have been in existence in the last 9 or 10 years or so. And I was made to understand that they have well over 50,000 workforce, right? So when we begin to look at what the intention of the Nigerian Forest Security Service, what Amatekun is doing, and what the civilian JTF is doing, you will see that there is need for us to have such local structures on ground, because, of course, you know that our conventional security agents, they lack local intelligence.
And the recruitment has to be local.
Absolutely.
Because you're not going to deploy somebody from Zamfara State to Enugu State to come and take care of the forest.
Absolutely. Of course, you agree with me that the conventional agents that we have, the police, the military, they are aliens in this deployment when they deploy them to certain rural communities to go and carry out security operations. So they need what we call local structure that will be on ground. Now, you see, most reasons why most of these criminal elements succeed is because they find these opportunities as a fertile ground. No security agents is on ground to be able to challenge them, to confront them. Now,
where lies the intelligence gathering, for this new outfit and the rest?
Now, because crime is local.
Are they going to be, combatant, straight away? I mean, in the forest and the rest, or will they collate intelligence and pass on to the real fighting forces, the Nigerian military, the civil defense, the police, and other top-notch security agencies?
I think it should go beyond that. They need to be operational. They need to be well equipped in terms of arms and ammunition as well, because they are going to be the first responders in terms of confronting these criminals. You're right. If they are not, if they only carry mere batons or sticks or bows and arrows, of course you agree with me that they won't be able to confront these criminal elements. So they need to be equipped. They need to be supported by the federal government, by the Office of the National Security Advisor, to see that they are able, they are competent, ready, to confront these criminals. Beyond intelligence gathering, when they gather this intelligence, they can share with the conventional security agencies that we have. I think that collaboration will take us, give us some desired result, right? And what the National Security Advisor is doing by trying to see how to adopt the Nigerian Forest Security Service, I think what is worth doing is worth doing well. The hierarchy of the Nigerian Forest Security Service, from my research and findings, they are not being taken along or carried along in this recruitment and training process, right? So there's need for that collaboration. Let us see that we have that sincerity of purpose, that commitment, that political will to be able to see how to come together as a country, as security agencies, to see how to address this common enemy. Okay,
some, just before we let you go, some other school of thought have been advocating non-kinetic approaches, to solving Nigeria's, the myriads of Nigeria's security problems.
Yes.
Do you think the non-kinetic approaches worked very well for Nigeria so far?
You see, when we talk about non-kinetic approach, we're looking at a process where there won't be use of force. How well have we achieved in addressing security issues using the non-kinetic approach? Let me quote Vladimir Putin here. Vladimir Putin said, it is not his responsibility to forgive terrorists. His own duty is to see how to send terrorists to God for God to forgive them. So what that means is that in this part of the world here in Nigeria, we see situations where we are forgiving terrorists, right? And I don't think it's the way to go, because we have laws. And let me tell you something. The Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act says that in a section there, that anywhere people sit down to talk about or have a conversation around terrorism, not even necessarily carrying out the act, the minimum jail sentence is 20 years. So here we are talking about people that have carried out this dastardly
heinous
exactly.
Crimes, yeah.
Killed people, turned children to orphans, men widowers and women widows and all that. These ravaged communities. At the end of the day, you come and say they have repented, they should go and sin no more. Then wherein lies justice for victims, right? Because victims are there hoping that justice will come to them, right? But we're not saying that. So I think that there's need for us to see how to change the narrative in this regard.
Why is the narrative so difficult to pin down, the bandit, the kidnapper, who demands ransom and the rest? Why?
Unfortunately, I have carried out a research on this, and I've asked questions where I see videos on our social media platform, on Facebook and WhatsApp.
Bandits celebrating their loot and the rest. How is the money moved from the banking system down there? And the security agencies, they say they don't know?
Unfortunately, that is what they tell us. But let me tell you something. Do you know, in the last 1 year, from June 2023 to June 2024 to July 2025, do you know how much was received as ransom? 2.56 billion naira. 48 billion naira was demanded by kidnappers. Out of the 48 billion, 5.35% was paid as ransom in the last 1 year in this country. Nigerians pay heavily for ransom. In our forest, we have victims kept as hostages until their demands are met by these criminal elements before they are released. Sometimes they even pay.
These monies are gotten from the banks, Okwori.
Yes.
And security agencies can't track it?
You see,
is there institutional conspiracy in this? That's what some people are thinking.
Yes,
that's what some Nigerians are saying.
Exactly, because we have seen situations where some victims are like, I interacted with a victim that was kidnapped along the Obajana Kaba Way. She said the police kept them in a police checkpoint for almost an hour. The moment they were released, not too far from the checkpoint, they were kidnapped, right? So, and the lady told me that nobody will convince her that the police that were at that checkpoint did not have a hand in her adoption, right? So a lot of things are happening, and this has to do with a background check. We just recruit people into the military, into the police and all that without carrying a proper background check on them, right? And we see situations where these police that are saddled with the constitutional responsibility, armed to see how to protect
turning
citizens.
the arms against
Turning the arms against them.
citizens.
If you go to Akwa Ibom, there are about 3 police officers that have been sentenced to death, you know, because they were involved in kidnapping activities.
Thank you so very much. Dr. Stephen Okwori is a security analyst and a fellow of the Nigerian Army Resource Center.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming
Thank
on
you for
News
having
Night.
me.
Okay.
Yeah.